We're here with Jamie McFarlane, one of our clubman competitors for the Future Auto Rally Experience. Now, Jamie is a long-term competitor and he's the proud owner of this awesome V8 Commodore. Now, V8s aren't all that common in rallying because the amount of power they have is often very difficult to get to the ground, but they are an absolutely spectacular vehicle to have out in the stages. So, Jamie, it's a brilliant thing to have such a beautifully prepared car here, mate. It's an absolute credit to you. How much work's actually gone into getting this car ready?
Probably about 18 months. Pretty hard slog to get it to where it is now, and quite proud of what we've achieved.
It's absolutely
yeah. So we had a VS Commodore prior to this with the V8. We wrapped that around some big trees and
Tree front car zero.
Tree front car zero, and the whole idea for this car was to rebuild that on budget and do something a little bit exciting, and also because to keep the budget smaller. One of the problems we have is when you're chasing for state titles and that sort of caper, you can spend a lot of dough and you're starting to run out of some of that dough at the moment. So this car is built as a club spec car, and that means it has a non-standard engine basically, which is in that class. And what it means is you're not chasing the titles, so you don't have to spend the big bucks, you just go out and have a ton of fun. And V8, tons of fun.
Absolutely.
A little bit scary sometimes because a little more power than the tyres can actually generate grip, but that's probably half the fun.
Well, I mean, you've been driving big cars for a little while now, so this one was a real step forward for you though, wasn't it? In terms of performance.
Yeah, it's sort of power of the engine from a larger car into a smaller, lighter car has sort of stepped that up a little bit. So it does make it a little interesting.
I mean, it is an absolute crowd favourite. You can hear this car coming from miles, and particularly night stages, it is just awesome rumbling through the forest. And the people love it, and they love the sounds of it. A big thing in what you were saying before is obviously it's a money-driven sport to some extent. Now, there are some teams that have got big budgets and they've got the super-duper YouTube cars. As a ballpark, what sort of budget are we looking at here in terms of preparation of this car? And then what would you spend over the season just running your club and championship?
This car stands, because we salvage a lot of stuff, this car stands something around $25,000 to put it on as it is there. Most of the money we spent on the previous car, it's all the mechanicals out there in here. But yes, you can expect to buy, you can buy some really nice cars for under $10,000 and have every bit as much fun. The championship, to run at clubman level, it's a whole lot cheaper. I guess we might spend $300 or $400 an event on entries, and everyone thinks these go through tyres like there's no tomorrow. I can get a full event out of a set of tyres quite comfortably. That's as in the rears, and the front ones will go to a 3-head. So the overall budget's not as savage as people might think. They will assume that it's shredding everything, but it's not. The biggest killer of the budget is when you get your ambitions mixed up with your capabilities and park the secrets in the way. Yeah,
so with as I mentioned, you're running as a clubman competitor. So what that effectively means is you're not in outright contention in the rally. So that would normally have you placed somewhere around about 10 to 15 in the field. Would that be?
Usually, yes. Based on the seedings. We've been away from it a little bit, so we sort of lost some place just by virtue of time. And then because I've come back and not actually competed in the state rounds, probably fallen even further off the game, but that's usually about where we'll end up. Somewhere in that.
And I mean, that's one of the great thing about it is that it's a race against the clock. It's not a race against other cars. It's like you have in circuit racing. So if you do have an incident where you damage your car, it's your own issue.
It's your own issue.
Someone else
can't blame anyone else.
But it's all about fun, isn't it? That's why we do it.
I wouldn't do it. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't do it because it does cost money. It's a fair bit of work in keeping the cars as, keeping them prepared and keeping them running and looking nice.
So do you do a lot of the work yourself to keep your costs under control, or are you largely
Yeah, it's predominantly done. I do anything mechanical on it is done by me. Anything paint panel wise is done by Kevin from Pro Street, hence the name Pro Street on the side. He's also my co-driver, and that comes in handy.
Well, that way it's his fault when he gets scratched.
Well,
You're only doing what the navigator tells you to do.
Absolutely.
So if you did something, that was his fault. Absolutely.
I'm playing the co-driver, and in this case, he can fix it.
That's right. He sent you down that dirty road, so that's his problem.
That's it.
So, Jamie, with this weekend, it's the test and tune element to it. Are you going into this event with the intention of developing the car and seeing what you can do to get it working better, or is it more just about throwing some rocks and having some skids?
Yeah, I think we've got the car fairly well sorted. I guess I need to learn how it handles compared to the previous car, but really the whole weekend for me is about going out and giving the volunteers who normally hold the event for us an opportunity to ride in the car because they don't normally get that. And yeah, to give some back, and you have a lot of fun, and you entertain people.
Absolutely. I mean, there's nothing better than having someone squealing next to you in the car, is it?
Oh yeah. But luckily enough, none of them say slow down.
True. So, and that's one of the great things about this weekend, is the fact that we do have these volunteers, people who give up their time, and it's a lot of time, a lot of weekends, and a lot of travelling to sit in the forest as our control officials or roadblocks and things like that. They're out there, they don't know what's going on, the cars come past for 10 minutes or so, and that's their thrill for the day.
So if we can ramp it up for them, that's why I'm doing it. It's purely to give some back to them and have fun. Have some fun. Yeah, absolutely.
So what are the plans for 2016?
We're on one income at the moment, so we'll pick and choose a little bit, but one of the things that we will be doing is assisting the course car teams at IROC and also at the WRC. Right. So that takes a lot of time, a lot of work, reasonable financial to go and do that. So definitely those two, and I'd like to think we'll do the round at Mount and then just wing it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see, folks, although it's top class motorsport, it doesn't take the mortgage on your house to basically get in there and compete. Jamie's had many years of successful competition, got a beautifully presented car for a sensible budget. So you don't have to go joining our sport to aim for being the next world champion. A lot of it, and most of it, is all about going out and having fun and doing it on an affordable budget. And it's not about sheep stations, it's all about fun. Thank you.